All right. Oh man, what is going on, everybody in the YouTube stratosphere? It's just me, TALK-IS-PITT here. Oh, oh man. Whew. I honestly was never going to do a video or live stream about the whole Jordan Addison situation. But after multiple reports are coming out, I kind of feel I have to. And if people want my opinion on the whole situation, I hate it, but I predicted it. Because when you lose your best quarterback and your offensive coordinator, you're probably going to lose a couple more other pieces to your team. Now, in this case, we just lost our best receiver. And it's not the fact that it happened on why I'm upset about it. It's how it happened. So let's back up a little bit and discuss how everything all fell into place. But before I do that, one, I'm going to wait for a couple more people to hop up in the live stream. And two, if you want to see more Pitt and ACC college football content, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and also drop your questions and your comments down in the comment section. And if you want to be gracious enough, you can hit the PayPal link to send the donations to my channel. What that will do is it'll help me get new studio equipment, get the hell out of the basement, even though I kind of am digging this whole basement thing, only because that's what a lot of people want to talk about. Now I don't have the PayPal app up and running, so if you do leave me a PayPal, I may not know about it until after the video is done, when I log in through the web browser, because I don't have the app. Hello, Yvette. Welcome, 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 welcome to the stream. But yes, ladies and germs, basically to go back to how all this started, Mark Whipple, in my opinion, has a good amount of blame in this situation, because he pretty much pulled a Jordan Addison to an extent. Now, Mark Whipple says he wants to retire and spend more time with his family, and then the next day he gets hired as the offensive coordinator for Nebraska. He straight up lied to our face and said he wanted to just spend more time with his family before he got back into coaching. And the next day he goes to Nebraska. Fuck you, Mark Whipple. And now that he left, and with Kenny Pickett graduating, I kind of figured Jordan Addison would probably leave Pitt as well. And I was right. I'm the only one that I know of that saw this coming. And I tried to tell other Pitt fans and other college football fans that this was going to happen. And guess what? A Pitt fan was right. Not every day you see that on the internet. And Jordan Addison also lied to the whole entire fan base of Pitt, stating, look, guys, you don't got anything to worry about. Just because Kenny Pickett and Mark Whipple are gone, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to finish my career here at Pitt. Those are his words, and I can prove that with a interview that he did with PantherLayer.com. Fast forward a couple of months. Jordan Addison enters the transfer portal after a crap ton of rumors. And out of all places he goes to is USC. And it irritates me that, one, there is clear evidence of tampering, and nobody can convince me otherwise. USC tampered with Jordan Addison, offering him a house, $3.5 million, and God knows what else they're giving him. And Lincoln Riley, I really hope you see this live stream because you're a piece of fucking shit. You are a poor excuse for a human being. I don't know why anybody would ever want to play for you other than the fact that they're idiots, because you're willing to tamper with another team to make your team better. Now, granted, people have obviously been doing this for years, but that doesn't make you any less of a scum than you are. You are a scum, Lincoln Riley. But anyway, Jordan Addison today showed up on campus with his family decked out in USC attire, antagonizing other student athletes that live in the same complex. Literally, your whole entire family showed up on campus to move all your stuff out while you were decked out in USC attire, or whatever you want to call it. And what irritates me is how you're going about this. This is the reason why Pitt fans are turning on you, why we hate you. First of all, you're a fucking liar, okay? You care more about money than you do education, all right? Because everybody knows Pitt has way better academic standards than the University of Southern California. All that is a party school up there. All it is a party school. Now, I'm not saying you guys don't have great academics, USC, but come on, let's face it. Why would anybody go to a college in California? They want to party because California has a great party scene, a great vibe to it. I've been to Cali before, but Jordan Addison, for you to turn around and do this shit, you know, showing up to campus wearing USC gear and also antagonizing other people. You're lucky somebody didn't punch you in the face for being such a bitch. Like, come on now, Jordan Addison. We didn't do this to you. You did this to yourself. Yeah, Yvonne, preach it, preach it, preach it. Or Yvette, sorry, I'm sorry. I actually know somebody named Yvonne, and every time I see YV, for whatever reason, Yvonne just automatically comes out. I do apologize. But yes, Yvette, it's ridiculous. It's like there's no loyalty in college football anymore. I'm not saying there was to begin with, because obviously there wasn't. People have been paying players for God knows how long. And I'm not saying players should not be played, because they should. But what I am saying is keep the loyalty. Forgetting the Pittsburgh fan base. Yeah, I doubt that, Joey. I'm 240 pounds, and I also used to practice mixed martial arts. I think I would just have to sit on him. But welcome, Joey. Welcome in. Good seeing you on Gold and Blue Dudes live stream. where is the loyalty in college football now as far as the players go? And yes, like I just said, players need to be paid. I always thought they should be paid, to be honest. They always should be paid. And what irritates me is the fact that there's no guidelines, or should I say, there's no enforcement to these rules. Nobody is going to enforce these rules because they don't want to get sued. The NCAA has bowed down like a little biatch and pretty much just let everything unravel. And what this is going to do is destroy college football. Oh, nice to meet you. I didn't know that was your wife, Joey Foster. I did not know that. Cool. But I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but if the NCAA does not get a hold of this situation, this is going to be the end of college football. And then what are we going to do? Watch pro football, which I have no problem with because, you know, I love football. I love football that much that I watch every single division of football. D1, FCS, D2, D3, even the JUCO league, the community college league, as I call it. I watch all levels of college football. I don't have a favorite team for all those levels because that's just too many people to follow. But I'm not a casual football fan as Uncle Lou thinks I am. I'm just not. All right. I don't know the amount of knowledge that everybody else does because I haven't been doing this long. And everybody knows I did not have a favorite college football team up until 2016 when I went down to Clemson and watched the Clemson and Pitt game, which we won. And I was like, I think I really feel a part of this fan base. And that's why I became a Pitt Panther fan. Now, that's my favorite team. I have been following college football since high school. It just confused me back then on how everything works. Like, I didn't know that certain teams were not eligible, or should I say, certain conferences are not eligible for the national title picture. I didn't know that. I didn't know there wasn't a playoff system. And I was like, this is confusing. I just did not understand it. And Yvette, I agree. It's going to be the downfall of college football. But yeah, I just did not know enough about college football to have a favorite team. And then I started paying attention more and more and more, especially being a Green Bay Packer fan, or should I say an NFL fan. That kind of helped me. Well, and see, Joey, what I think your fan base is doing is only looking at what Pitt lost. The fact is, West Virginia returns only only 9 starters. Pitt returns 16 or 17 with the loss of Jordan Addison. Now, you guys return your whole entire, or not your whole entire offensive line. If you have, actually, let me take that back. If West Virginia only returns 9 starters, then that means you probably don't have. That probably means 2 things. One, the scenario would be you return your whole entire offensive line along with the defensive line. That depends on what kind of set you guys break out into. Are you going to do 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen with 2 edge rushers? So that all depends on how you guys run your offense, or not your offense, your defense. If you only return 9 starters, scenario 2, you're probably missing an offensive lineman, which actually I know you are, because I know one of them just entered the transfer portal. I can't remember the goddamn guy's name. Okay, so who was that offensive lineman you guys just lost to the portal? Hello, Kitty. What? What, Kitty? You guys lost an offensive lineman. I know you guys lost Mesidor, but who? I know, because when I looked on 24/7, because I was trying to figure out who the transfer was we got the other day, and I was hoping it was that tight end from Georgia Tech, because we really need a tight end. Pitt really needs a tight end, but we ended up getting a tight end from TCU. So we now have somebody on our roster that has Big 12 game experience. Now, this tight end is kind of like a mystery. He spent his first 2 years at TCU, and then he transferred to JUCO, Butler Community College, down in Kansas or Tennessee, I think. Joey, if you go look on 24/7 Sports and pick the West Virginia Mountaineers, you'll see who I'm talking about. What, the Georgia Tech tight end? You got a tight end from Georgia Tech? That 6'6" guy, Dylan Daffy? Well, actually, Joey, he left the team because of mental health reasons. What happened is there were some things happening on campus that were triggering a childhood trauma that he suffered, and he went to the coaches and the counselors to try to get mental help. Be like, look, I'm struggling. Something is going wrong. And the coaches pretty much told him to suck it up and deal with it. We don't have time to sit here and baby you. And so he left. He left and decided to go to Butler Community College. Now, Joey, what also you don't know is when he went to he went to TCU as a defensive tackle. He originally started at defensive tackle for TCU, and he hates playing defense. He absolutely hated playing defense. He wants to play offense, and he wanted to be a guard, but the coaches just would not let him. And so he was like, you know what? I'm just going to make the best of a shit situation. But when his mental health started coming into play, and he asked for help, and the coaches said no, he knew he had to get out of there. And that does happen. That happens quite a bit. I know of at least one or two other stories from Penn State, not TCU, but from Penn State, where the coaches pretty much said, you got to suck it up. Just suck it up and deal with it. And that's wrong. That is just wrong. If your player is telling you, look, I'm not doing too good mentally, and then you say suck it up, like, you shouldn't be coaching. What's up, John? Welcome to the stream, John. And look, if that happened to a West Virginia player, I'd be saying the same damn fucking thing. That is wrong. You do not need to tell your players that, hey, your mental health doesn't matter. It only matters if you play football or if you score points or you give us national championships. Whatever. It's wrong. I don't like it, and it's just horrible. Now, as far as the other transfers go, we got a wide receiver transfer from Louisiana Tech, Bubba Means, 6'2", 215 pounds. We also got Kanota Mumfield, which once he entered the transfer portal from Akron, he got a lot of interest. Alabama, Georgia, West Virginia, Texas A&M. A lot of Power 5 schools went after this kid because at that time, he was the best wide receiver in the portal. And he decided to come to Pitt. Now, people are saying I'm delusional because I said Jordan Addison felt threatened. Oh, it definitely felt threatened. Jordan Addison definitely did feel threatened, because now we had more than one good receiver on the roster. Jordan Addison saw his playing time decrease, especially with the new style of offense Pitt is running. Yes, John, Jordan Addison definitely turned his back on Pitt. You like that, kitty? In my opinion, Jordan Addison turned his back on Pitt, and I hate that. Yeah, and Joey, some Spicy C, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Some players are soft, but when a player reaches out to you and asks you for help, that's a different story, in my opinion. That is a different story, in my opinion, when a player be like, look, coach, something's going on in my head. I'm having bad thoughts. I need help. I need somebody to talk to. To me, that's a different story. If a player can't take criticism and he wants to bitch and moan about it, then, I'd agree. Players are too soft. Like, you cannot play football and not take criticism. That wasn't the case here for the tight end transfer. Carter Johnson, that's his name. Carter Johnson. Yeah, Spicy C. College football is a different way now. Like, I mean, this whole NIL deal is great, but is also going to be the downfall of college football. That's just my opinion. I would personally love to see the loyalty aspect of college football come back. You having fun, kitty? You got cat hair everywhere. Yeah, not a lot of difference, Joey. And the thing is, Joey, we're probably not done as far as adding transfers, because we have 5 scholarship spots available to give to either another transfer or a few other players. Honestly, I don't know if there's any current players on the roster that would warrant a scholarship. Maybe Solomon D. Shields if he's not already on scholarship, but I think he is. And I really am really looking forward to that kid absolutely lighting it up on defense. He's a 6'3", 245-pound inside linebacker. He's good. It's just he's buried on the depth chart behind seniors. Pat Narduzzi is the type that loves to play people who are going to get him wins, but he also is still stuck in that because it's a senior, he gets bulk of the playing time. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing because even if you are a senior and you have earned playing time, if there's somebody behind you that's just better, then I mean, you kind of need to go with what's right for the team. Well, yeah, we honestly, Joey, West Virginia needs to add more players from the portal than we do. Now, we have depth, but there are certain positions that we just don't have depth. Tight ends. We really probably need to pick up another one. Linebackers. Actually, those are the only 2 positions that we don't have depth for. Tight end and linebacker. Now, we did pick up we did pick up a 2 linebacker transfers, one from Notre Dame and the other one from Missouri State. Sorry, that's the pipes behind me. Unfortunately, until I get a better venue, I have no choice but to film my videos down here because my brother won't turn down his fucking TV upstairs. And there's another TV in the living room, so I just don't want to get copyright. I'm going to get copyright if I film upstairs. So what was I saying? For this year, we didn't have to go get as many transfers as we have had to in the past. Well, and see, that's the one thing, Joey, that Pitt has over West Virginia that I think some of your fans are overlooking. We have depth and experience in the secondary. We return our whole entire secondary minus 1. Okay, so if you count the linebackers in the secondary, we lost 3. 1 to the portal. We lost a linebacker to the portal who transferred to Washington, the Huskies. And then we lost 2 due to eligibility requirements. They didn't have any eligibility left. So we lost those 2 linebackers, and we did lose a corner to the draft. He got drafted to where did he get drafted to? Denver. Damari Mathis got drafted to Denver. So he's gone, and we needed to replace some people. The thing about Damari Mathis, though, is, or any of the people we lost to the portal or the NFL, is they were not solidified starters. Like, for instance, Damari Mathis. There were a couple of times where he missed games because of injury. Yeah, and see, Spicy, I agree with you right there. I'm not saying we're going to blow you guys out. I mean, if I'm trash talking West Virginia, yeah, I'm gonna say that because it annoys you guys. And I like, you know, getting the West Virginia crowd all riled up because it makes for better trash talk. But if you just look at overall experience, Pitt has more experience on both the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Now, Kenny Pickett, that's a big loss. Jordan Addison, that's definitely a big loss. But it's not like we don't have people behind those people who are quite capable of carrying our offense. Now, I'm not too high on Keaton Slovis only because the spring game didn't do him justice. It didn't make him look good. It made him look bad. And the reason why it made Slovis look bad is because they gave him all the backups, no starters. Every person he played with was a backup, actually, except one. He did get our starting running back, Izzy Abanikanda. That's it, though. Now, I can tell you this. The defensive line for Pitt is going to be a monster. David Green, Kalijah Cansey, Deslin Alexander, Elliot Donald, the nephew of Aaron Donald. He will probably start at defensive end. Let's see. Dayon Hayes, Sean Fitzsimmons. We got a numerous amount of defensive linemen that will put JT Daniels on his ass. JT Daniels is not escaping the backyard brawl without getting sacked at least twice. He will get put on the ground. Oh, yeah, your offensive line is very strong. I'll give you that. But you don't have the speed to contain our defensive linemen. You just don't. 54 sacks last year, Joey, between our defensive linemen. 54. That tied for first in the entire country. We also rank number one in the country for tackles for losses with 112. That means 112 times we stopped the running back or quarterback behind the line of scrimmage. You can't argue with that, especially if Pitt returns their whole entire defensive line. Now, here's also another way that Pitt is one-upping West Virginia. Now, we have not one, but two five-star recruits visiting campus next month. Samson Okunlola and now newly five-star wide receiver Hakeem Williams. Hakeem Williams is the only one who's technically locked in for a visit. Samson Okunlola hasn't made dates yet for his official visits. And he's already said that he put Pitt in his top 3. There is a video out there of him saying that. We are already in his top 3 because his brother is on the roster right now. His brother is a 4-star defensive end, 6'5", 235 pounds. I mean, Pitt has talent all across the board that West Virginia just cannot match. You can't. Now, I'm not saying that you guys don't have talent, because you guys do. But it's not going to be as easy as you hope or think. We have sacked, or should I say, Pitt has gone up against better offensive linemen than what the ACC has to offer and has dominated. I mean, even though Pitt lost the Peach Bowl, we sacked Michigan State's quarterback 5 times. 5 times. And it's actually kind of sad that Michigan State didn't blow us out by even more when we were down to our 3rd string quarterback. Come on, guys. I will give West Virginia credit where it's due. Your offense will be highly improved. Your defense will still be good because you guys have a great defense. That's half the reason why you guys were able to survive games last year without a complete ass whooping, because of your defense. But make no mistake about it, we're not going to hand you a win. Losing Jordan Addison doesn't guarantee you a win or a win by double digits like GBD thinks. Sorry, GBD, but you thinking West Virginia will win by double digits is even more dumb than if I think Pitt could beat Alabama, because they can't. See, I don't know, Spicy. See, I don't know if he is. He probably is more of a runner than JT Daniels. And Joey, that's what you're failing to realize. JT Daniels is a statue. He is a statue. And Pitt will get after him if all he does is stand in the pocket. Because last year, that's where half of the sacks came from, when quarterbacks stood too long inside the pocket. If you get outside of the pocket, there's going to be a linebacker there to contain you. Now, the only person who was really able to expose the middle of our defense was, and that's quarterback-wise, just quarterback. It wasn't Tyler Van Dyke because he didn't really get that many rushing yards. I want to say it probably was Hendon Hooker and Joe Milton. Those are the only 2 running backs that were actually able, or quarterbacks, I should say, that were actually able to run it up the middle as well as they did. But we learned from that. We definitely 100% learned from that, and it got less and less and less and less as the season went along. Even for the Wake Forest game, we shut down their run game. They had no run game. Their running back, if I'm not mistaken, had 34 rushing yards. Oh, and see, actually, Joey, thank you for saying that. Joey Foster says, I never said West Virginia will beat Pitt by double digits. No, you didn't. Golden Blue Dude did. I think we will win around 4 to 5 points, and Daniels will roll the pocket, and you have to be ready for a 2-quarterback system and watch the backups. They run. Well, that may be true, but we also have a 2-quarterback system. Slavis and Patty. Last year, we used a 2-quarterback system multiple times. Nick Patty had 5 rushing touchdowns last year. 5. So it's not like we don't know how to do that too. And if there's anything Pitt is better at defending than a lot of ACT teams are, it's closing the gap on the edge. Sealing that seam that gets you a clear lane. Now, if you throw it before you cross the line and you're running out of the pocket, you may have actually a legit chance, because that was the weakness for the secondary last year, was our passing game. We sucked. Oh yeah, and so did we. Actually, Joe, we used 4. We used Kenny Pickett, Nick Patty, Davis Bevel, who transferred to Oklahoma, by the way, and we also used Eli Kasanovich. Eli Kasanovich is a local kid from Pittsburgh, from Aliquippa. And to be honest, if I were him, I'd transfer because he's never going to play it down here at Pittsburgh. He's not. Unless he comes in for mop-up duty or it's a blowout like the New Hampshire game was, he's not going to see any playing time. I would advise him to transfer. And also what you guys are failing to realize, the Wake Forest game helped us a lot with being able to read when a quarterback is about to take off. Wake Forest, for whatever reason, are still holding on to the ball and faking it like they're giving it to the running back, and then they drop back to pass. It's too predictable. Way too predictable. Now, you guys have to stick up for your fan base, and I have to stick up for mine. But let me tell you guys this. I wouldn't say that, Joey. He definitely has talent. He can throw, but he's just being buried on the roster, and he needs to go. I think he needs to transfer. I hate saying that to a local kid because he's from an hour or so north of Pittsburgh in Aliquippa, so he's a local kid to us. He's just getting buried on the roster. Yeah, is he a walk-on? Is he? I thought he was on scholarship. Oh, and so do we, Spicy C. Spicy C. Pitt has 5 or 6 quarterbacks on the roster. Hello. And also, what I am forgetting to mention, Pitt did get a 4-star quarterback commit for next year. Oh, I'm not forgetting about Nate Yarnell, John, but he's always injured. Joey, our average last year for attendance was around 45,000. There were 3 times we went over 30. Actually, no. There was the Clemson game. We had 60,594. The UMass game, ironically, I don't know how the hell we pulled this off. The UMass game, we had 51,000. The Virginia game at the end of the season, we had 49,000, and it started to rain. We don't fill our stadium, and I'm okay with that because at least, you know, we win. West Virginia didn't. They fill their stadium all the time just to go 6 and 7, and you're not having more West Virginia fans at Heinz Field. It won't happen. Heinz Field will be jam-packed. It's going to be jam-packed to week 1. It's going to be jam-packed to week 2 when Tennessee comes up here. It probably, I think our average attendance will go up because our 2 years prior, we only averaged around 20,000 fans a game. Now we average about 45 to 50,000 fans a game. Hello. It will be packed. There will be fights. But single game season tickets don't go on sale until next month. And I'm not spending around $2,000 for I'm not spending $2,000 for season tickets when I won't be able to go to each game. Yeah, but Joey, here's the thing. You guys don't always sell out your stadium. You guys actually sell out your stadium just as much as we do. And that's what I find funny. Now, we have sold out our stadium at least 10 different times since joining the ACC. So at least once every year, with the exception of last year. Now, all right, and this is what really defines West Virginia fans as narrow-minded. You guys have nothing else down in West Virginia but West Virginia sports. That's it. All right. As far as sports go, that's all you guys have. You might have your little minor league teams and your minor league pro football teams, baseball teams, whatever the case may be. But West Virginia does not have to compete with the NFL. It does not have to compete with the NHL. It does not have to compete with baseball. It doesn't have to compete with the Major League Baseball. And it sure as hell doesn't have to compete with a professional soccer team. We have to compete with all that the next day. Nobody is going to want to go to a Pitt game and then the next day go to a Steeler game. That's not how it works in this city. Because there's so much to do and how expensive everything is becoming here, you literally have to choose which team you want to go see play. And especially hockey. Hockey reigns supreme over anything. That includes the Steelers, because the Steelers haven't done good in I don't know how long. I'm not a Steeler fan. I'm a Green Bay Packer fan. But when you have to compete with the Steelers, and even when we had our own stadium, and this is what you guys don't realize either, we still struggled to fill the stadium because of the Steelers. People are always going to flock Heinz Field more than they will at a Steeler game than to go to a Pitt game the day before. The tickets for Steeler games are not cheap, not even close. They definitely went up. A nosebleed seat for a Steeler game is now around $300 to $400. You could sure find it cheaper on like SeatGeek and all that stuff, but even the seats up top, you're still looking to spend about $200. Everything has gone up. The prices, I mean, first of all, who wants to go to a game and pay $12 for a can of beer this big? $12. $12 fucking dollars for a can of Miller Lite. And they only serve one beer. Only one beer. Miller Lite. I hate Miller Lite. I'm not a drinker, all right? But if I am going to drink a beer, it's going to be Yingling. I hate any other beer brand besides Miller High Life. That's only if I'm depressed. Oh, man. But yeah, guys, there's things that West Virginia can throw at us that makes us look bad. There's also things we can throw at West Virginia to make them look bad. All right. The fact is, our defensive line is just better than your defensive line. Our defensive line is going to get after your quarterback, and it's going to happen. I'm not going to say that we're going to blow you guys out because I don't think we will. It's going to be decided by 3 to 7 points. So, honestly, I'm going to laugh my ass off if Pitt wins 13-9. Oh my God, that would be hilarious if Pitt beats West Virginia 13. Oh. Honestly, Joey, when it comes to the COVID year, I don't hold anything against anybody. Well, if you guys win 13-9, it's deja vu. It's bound to happen sooner or later. It is. And even some Pitt fans know it's bound to happen where you guys beat us 13-9 to avenge the 2007 loss. Now, yeah, our defensive line is better, Joey. Your defensive line did not produce the amount of sacks ours did. Your defensive line did not produce the amount of tackles for losses ours did. We also had more defensive touchdowns than you guys did. We did. I mean, yeah, honestly, a lot of West Virginia fans by CC don't want to talk about 2007. Look, I'm sorry, Joey, but your defensive line is not as good as ours. Once you guys hit 54 sacks, let me take that back. Our defensive line for the past 6 years has ranked number 1, 2, or 3 in sacks, tackles for losses, pressures on the quarterback. That's facts, bro. 2020, we were number 1. 2019, we were number 1. 2018, we were number 2. 2017, we were 3. 2016, we were number 1. Actually, we tied for number 1 with Clemson. And that's weird. Every time Pitt ranks something, we tie with Clemson. Honestly, Joey, it doesn't matter who y'all faced or who we faced. The fact is, we got it done and you didn't. It doesn't matter if you think the ACC is weaker or whatever the case may be, because I guarantee you, we would have gave Oklahoma State a run for their money. We would have gave Baylor a run for their money, and we would have gave Oklahoma a run for their money. Not saying we would have beat all three of those teams. We would have beat at least one of them. And to be honest, if I had to pick, it would be Oklahoma State. We have played Oklahoma State down to the wire with less talent. All right. The last time we played Oklahoma State, or not the last time, but the time before that, we held them to one score. They won by 1 point on a 55-yard field goal. So it's not like we can't play with the big boys. We can. We definitely can. If 2016 isn't an indication that Pitt can beat anyone, I don't know what else is. I don't. I don't agree with that. I don't. And only because we don't play a lot of Big 12 teams. Actually, ironically, Joey, I think Oklahoma State is the last Big 12 team we played. It's been a long time. I'd have to exactly look at the record books. Trying to think off the top of my head because I was looking at that. The last three, or at least the last two, were decided by 1 point. Definitely the last Pitt and West Virginia game was decided by 1 point. But we did beat you 2007. We beat you 2008, which is the year I graduated high school. I was okay with that, actually. And then the last game we played, you guys beat us by 1 point. You guys have also been in the Big 12 2 years longer than we've been in the ACC. I think you guys, okay, Joey, what year did West Virginia move to the Big 12? Was it 2011 or 12? Because we didn't start ACC play until 2013. And we got our ass whooped by Florida State. Which is weird because we got our ass whooped by Florida State, and then we turn around a few weeks later and beat Notre Dame. That made no sense to me. Okay, so 1 year longer than Pitt. Baylor, honestly, and this is just my opinion only because I don't follow them. Oh, yeah, Spicy. See, Mason Rudolph shit all over the Pitt defense whenever we last played Oklahoma State, which is why I had to go back and correct myself, saying not the last time, but the time before that. Do I think that would happen now? No, I do not. And I would love to play more teams that are not, crappy ass teams. I hate the way Pitt does their non-conference schedule. Stop scheduling all these cupcake teams. Stop it, all right? I'm not talking about Western Michigan because they're not a cupcake team, all right? They made it to the MAC championship. Then they got their ass whooped by Northern Illinois, which I found funny. I think, and this is how it's gone. Joey, actually, we've only played Texas 3 times in history. Each time, Texas won by a touchdown. We've always given Texas a good old-fashioned dogfight, and it always comes down to the last possession. The last time Pitt played Texas was 1995, I believe, at Pitt Stadium. Actually, 1995 was the last. No. It might have been at Three Rivers Stadium, which is the old Steelers Stadium. But it was a good game. I went back and watched it. Actually, I didn't have to because I was there. And I have been to 1 backyard brawl. 1. I am undefeated in backyard brawls. I went to the backyard brawl in 1997 down in Morgantown, and Pitt won. But anyway, guys, my stomach's starting to bother me a little bit, so I'm going to give myself a break. Joey, Spicy C, John, Joey's wife, I really appreciate everybody who stopped by on this live stream to watch me babble on. I'm going to be starting my prediction, actually preview videos. I need to really finish my, actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to scrap that and just start doing prediction videos next month. So in the middle of June, you can start expecting my prediction videos to come out. I will be talking about, the backyard brawl. And yeah, everybody, I will see you guys next time. Like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. Hit the PayPal link in the description and up at the top of the comment section if you can go back that far. I will see you guys next time. And yeah, let's go Pitt. Let's go Pitt. Sweet Caroline. West Virginia ain't shit. See you later.